Hi, my name is Matthijs, and I want to discuss what happens when narcissistic parents seek external validation from their children and through their children. Mind you, I'm not a psychologist. I'm rather someone who has experienced the matters I speak of firsthand, and I want to provide a sort of witness account. So regard me a witness. Narcissistic people crave a constant praise and adulation from other people. But what if you can't get this praise from your peers or from society? Narcissistic parents therefore turn to their own children, demanding that the children worship them as though they were gods. For example, when I was a child, our mother would tell me and my baby brothers that she was a surgeon, that she had graduated with honors from university, that she had studied medicine, and also that she had a very high IQ. And for a while, we believed her. We really looked up to our mother as though she were some really extraordinary person with professional abilities. It didn't take long, of course, for us to find out that the image our mother had crafted of herself wasn't true. When our mother took one of our brothers to work, he found out the truth. She wasn't a surgeon. She was a nurse working in the OR, the operating room, who handed the surgeon his tools, and she wasn't even very good at it, for the surgeon often scolded my mother for giving him the wrong tools. My mother had not studied medicine. She had studied at nursing school, and before that at household school. My mother had not graduated with honors either. She was an average nurse, or perhaps even below average. And my mother certainly didn't have a very high IQ. She had a low IQ, below average, probably around 90. But low intelligence doesn't stop narcissists from very cleverly crafting an image of themselves that they want others to believe in. In essence, narcissistic people and narcissistic parents alike feel deeply inferior about themselves and seek to compensate for this feeling by making themselves appear as far greater and bigger than they really are. When narcissists are found out, they will respond with vicious anger, hatred, vitriol, anything they can do to prevent themselves from being unmasked. But if narcissistic parents cannot win the praise and adulation from their own children anymore because the children no longer believe the fake version of the parents, then parents have another option. They can now use the children as a tool for winning external validation from society. For example, when children get good grades, all parents take some pride in the achievements of their children, whether they be good athletes or good at math or good at French and so on and so forth. But narcissistic parents will use the achievements of their children as evidence showing how good of a parents they are. If my children do well, thinks the narcissist, then I must be very well too. I must be a very good person too. My parents would use our good grades to brag to their family and colleagues and friends about what incredibly good parents they must be if their children get grade A's all the time. My parents would take more than healthy pride in our achievements. It wasn't enough that I had 3 swimming diplomas. No, I had to go on and get 15 swimming diplomas, even though I didn't really care for it personally. I was ordered to keep achieving and keep getting good diplomas and good grades and keep achieving as a child, not because it was good for me, not because I cared about these activities, but because my parents equated themselves with my achievements. If I was an achiever, that meant they must be good parents and they could win the attention and the praise from their family and colleagues. But if narcissistic parents do this to their children, they reduce the child to a tool in their hand. They are not at all concerned with the emotional well-being of the child, but only with his achieving ability. Consequently, narcissistic parents will never praise a child for doing what it loves to do, but only praise it for whatever wins it good grades and diplomas. As a child, you don't understand why your parents apparently care more for your grades and diplomas and your achievements than for you. They don't care about your well-being, your confidence, your self-esteem, whether or not you feel happy, whether or not you know how to deal with setback. They don't care about these things at all because you are their trophy. If you have been abused in this manner, if you were used as sort of the trophy for your parents' cabinet, then you learn that love is won through external validation. You must be an achiever. You must get good grades. You must meet the bar set for you. And if you don't, then you are nothing. Then you are worthless again. In response to this type of abuse, some children may become overachievers. They may actually become good at the things they don't really like to do. Other children may give up on achieving and they become basically withdrawn losers on purpose because they don't want to achieve for someone anymore, since there is nothing they can really do for themselves. In adulthood, I found that the solution to this conditioning is that you must learn to find the things you do care about and pursue only those things, and simply disregard any other field you might have achieved or done well in if it doesn't really align with your own interests. And also to remind yourself every day that you are not a tool in somebody else's hand for them to achieve validation from society, but that you can seek your own internal validation. If you feel well doing something, if you feel confident doing something, or if there are things that you can do that make you more confident, then those are the things you should pursue, because those things give you internal validation and you don't have to worry about what the uncles and aunts or the family thinks of your grades and diplomas. These things are just not as important as you were led to believe when you were a child living under the rule of narcissistic parents.